This house has a simple goal: to produce as much or more energy than it uses, and to do it as efficiently and economically as possible. It's a concept that is driving the green building industry, but that wasn't the only challenge for the Zero Energy Idea House. Contractors Riley and Donna Shirey wanted to build their dream home, and at the same time prove home construction is evolving, and that green building techniques and renewable energy sources are the future.
It's just the way we live. That's how we run our lives. We recycle, we compost, we have a garden. We do all those things that are important, part of the green program. We want to build more high-performance houses. I think that we'll be finding people that are very interested in that. Imagine being able to save 50% of energy. This is a wonderful thing, and the consumer needs to understand that and know that that is a possibility. You know, there's 128 million existing houses. Very few of them are energy efficient. So this works into our remodeling projects as well.
One of the keys to controlling energy is the building envelope. That's a fact supported by the Washington State University Extension Energy Program, which monitored the Idea House construction.
We try to find the builders at the cutting edge because that's where we learn the most about the new technologies. And so we build a very efficient envelope. So the foundation to getting to zero energy is a very efficient envelope with better windows and better wall systems, better floor insulation systems, and ceiling systems. And once you've gotten that, then the question is can I build the home? And this is our gospel: build tight and ventilate right.
The Shireys built it tight from the ground up, starting with the foundation. They used insulated concrete forms, which allow very little heat to escape through the concrete. And the walls were constructed of structurally insulated panels.
The building envelope is like the biggest user of the energy, just about, in the whole scheme of things, at least the measurable energy that I know about. And so the ICFs and the structural insulated panels really help to cut down that use.
The structurally insulated panels, or SIPs as they're called in the industry, are not only a key to the energy efficiency of the home, but also help reduce on-site construction waste. The panels are built off-site and trimmed to fit perfectly at the work site, fitting together like pieces of a big puzzle. They are very different from traditional wood stick framing. There are no studs in the walls. There was a learning curve for subcontractors who weren't familiar with installing SIPs, but they caught on fast and enjoyed the experience. And SIPs are an important component in the Idea House's green status.
Normally a SIP panel is going to be 7/16" OSB and then foam on the core that matches in dimension to traditional lumber. In this situation, a 2x4 or 2x6. These panels would then come out to the site and they would be completely fabricated up, trimmed, cut to the shape, the pitch of the roof. The recesses would be in for the lumber to go in when the panels fit together. So out in the field, you aren't going to be cutting anything more than just the 2x4s that go into the top and bottom splines to connect them all together. All the waste is generated in the plant where it is recycled. The foam is recycled in what's considered regrind and reconstituted back into the foam panels, and then the OSB is economized inside the plant.
The other thing that we have found is when your walls are straight and everything is very exact, it makes all the subs a little bit better because they come into a house where it's clean and neat and tidy because there isn't a lot of debris. In fact, there's no debris when you build with SIPs. You simply assemble the panels. So we find that it makes all the subs a little bit better.
King County, in partnership with Snohomish County and the Master Builders Association, developed the checklist that the Shireys are using. The grant incentive program helps people that have been building at a lower level reach a 5-star level, and that's one of the reasons that we awarded the Shireys the grant for the Idea House. They had done a great job with green remodels and certifying at lower levels, and they were ready to take the next step with this project.
Energy efficiency wasn't the only challenge in constructing the Idea House. It's built on a steep slope, considered a critical area by the city, so the permitting process was complicated. And extra care went into site preparation and the landscaping to make sure the hillside remained stable and the foundation solid. But once the paperwork was done and everyone was on board with the site development and design, the Idea House began to take shape.
The building inspector that came out to the job site, he was enthralled. And he said, boy, I really want to follow this project through. And that's encouraging, and we love that.
With the tight envelope established, the Idea House didn't need a big furnace for heat. Instead, it will use a combination of passive solar, photovoltaic panels, and radiant heat in the flooring to keep its occupants warm. The Shireys chose warm board for the home's radiant heat flooring.
Because of the energy efficiency stuff that we address with the delivery of the heat, and because radiant heat in general is an indoor air quality advantage, you're not blowing a bunch of dust around with ductwork that collects dust, we found that we naturally fit into a lot of the goals that the green movement had. It wasn't just energy, it was indoor air quality and a whole bunch of other things. Material usage, we actually replaced the structural subfloor. So the plywood that would have normally gone on the joist is now not there, and warm board is there instead. So there's efficiencies in material usage and all kinds of other things that made it really good fit with the green movement.
Heating was just one of the systems the Idea House looked at with a green eye. From the very beginning of design discussions with Klingston Bruner Architects, just about every green tool in the box was looked at to see where it could fit in.
And so we really did take a holistic look at how to incorporate the systems into a project in a meaningful and balanced way, rather than looking like add-ons. These things are integrated and incorporated into the architecture itself. If you know anything at all about sustainability, you would know right away that this project is, by virtue of the fact that you can see green roofs, a windmill, photovoltaic panels, a green wall at the main entrance of the building. If there's any wind at all, 4 to 5 miles an hour, that windmill will be turning. You're going to know that something is going on here, that this is not a normal house. And so those particular features are highly visible. The photovoltaic panels, the hot water evacuated tubes, all very evident and visible right from the get-go. And so we're letting the public know that there's something unusual going on here.
From the exterior, the green roof is an eye-catcher. But it's more than just landscaping on the roof. It's a modular system, so trays of plants can be easily swapped out, and it's connected to a 3,000-gallon cistern, part of the Idea House's stormwater management and irrigation system.
First and foremost, the green roof contributes to stormwater management, and we're really looking to try to reduce the volume of the water that's running off the roof and going into the city system, and then it has to be managed by the city. So that's kind of the first thing that we looked at. There's also a water quality aspect to that, where the water hits the roof, goes through the plant material, through the soil, and we get a little bit of filtration within that soil. Normally the roof water is considered clean, but we're also getting some filtration through there. So when it comes through and hits the gutter system and goes down into our rainwater harvesting system, it's basically filtered water and ready to be recirculated into the irrigation system. So we have a recirculating system here with the water that hits the roof. So it goes all the way through the system, gets into a stormwater collection tank, which is our rainwater harvesting cistern, 3,000-gallon tank, and then gets kicked right back up onto the roof for irrigation for the roof and some of the site aspects of the landscaping here. So we just keep moving that water around and around and around until we get new water from rain. So it's a great system.
The green roof also adds insulation, tightening the building envelope even further. Other green elements include energy-efficient windows, Energy Star light fixtures and appliances, dual flush toilets, low-flow shower heads and faucets, recycled glass countertops, low VOC paints, non-toxic finishes, and formaldehyde-free insulation and cabinets. They're all on the Built Green checklist, and when you add them up, the Idea House is as green as a leprechaun on St. Patrick's Day.
One of the best attributes of the checklist is that it's been a self-certification process for the builders. In recent years, as we've updated the checklist and done revisions to the program, we've created a 4- and 5-star requirement for third-party verification. The verification process is a lot like the FDA's organic food stamp. It validates the product and what you're buying through a third-party lens. So it really removes the responsibility of the builders to identify and solidify what they've done and it creates a system where people really trust what's happened on the building project.
And one other note about the site development and landscaping, Cedar Grove compost was used extensively on the site to enrich the soil to speed the development of native plants, and compost socks were strategically placed around the property to absorb and slow runoff.
Composting sock is a sock that is filled with compost. What it does in different applications, on a steep slope like this, it will actually slow down the storm water coming off the hill. So in a heavy rain event, if the storm water is coming down the hill, it will actually slow down that water and allow that water to infiltrate the hillside rather than washing down on, off the properties.
The compost socks, green roof, and other water management technology helped the Idea House qualify for a Built Green grant. The grant program is funded by King County Waterworks Program and the Green Tools Green Building Program. These programs look to projects like the Idea House to lead the way in the green building movement.
One of the best things about demonstration projects and projects that end up getting a wider public focus through grants like this is that they have the ability to inspire other builders, other community members to see what's possible for their projects and show that it isn't just something that's a pie-in-the-sky ideal, but something that you can translate into practical application and scale over a broad geographic area and a broad selection of project types.
Once ground was broken, it took some 14 months for the Idea House to come to life. It's got beautiful decks with sweeping views of Lake Sammamish, but it's no McMansion. Its 2-bedroom and 2.5 baths fit into a small footprint and totals just over 1,600 square feet. And the Washington State University Extension Energy Program estimates the home's energy bill should run about $500 a year.
I can't wait to start living in this home. It's so wonderful. I want to start seeing the energy functions and how it all works out. I think that it's going to be great for other consumers, and it's going to be terrific for other builders to see what we've done here. It's a wonderful place, and I'm really going to love it.